Commander Hyle of the Galactic Union Fleet stood frozen in the doorway of her own bridge, her three eyes widening in disbelief. There, sprawled across her captain's chair like some furry tyrant, was a small Earth creature she'd only read about in xenobiology reports. A cat. "Kivan," she said slowly, her translator struggling with the edge in her voice. "Why is there a feline on my command chair?" The human engineer looked up from his console, his face splitting into that peculiar expression his species called a smile. "Oh, that's just Mr. Whiskers. Don't worry, he doesn't bite." "That is not the point." Hyal's crest flared violet with frustration. Station Regulation 4.7, subsection 3 clearly states, "No biological companions are permitted aboard military vessels." Kevin scratched his head, seemingly unconcerned. "Yes, about that. Mr. Whiskers doesn't really care about regulations." As if to prove the point, the cat stretched luxuriously, extending its claws directly into the chair's expensive Valorian leather. Hyal's central eye twitched. "Remove it now." "I would, Commander, but..." Kivan gestured helplessly. "He's kind of chosen this spot. You know how cats are." "No, I do not know how cats are." Hyle advanced toward her chair, fully intending to assert her authority over this tiny invader. "I know how regulations are, and they say..." Mr. Whiskers' eyes opened to slits, fixing her with a golden stare that somehow conveyed both supreme indifference and an unspoken threat. The cat's tail flicked once. Just once. Hyal stopped mid-step. She had faced down Krillian warfleets. She had negotiated with the hive mind of Epsilon Prime. She had survived 3 assassination attempts and a singularity collapse. But something about that stare made her reconsider her approach. "Kivan," she said carefully, "what exactly happens if I attempt to forcibly remove your companion?" The human's smile faded. "Honestly, Commander, I've seen him take down a trained security bot. Back on Earth, he once held off a burglar for 3 hours, and last week he somehow reprogrammed the food dispensers to only produce tuna. The tuna shortage." Hyal's antennae shot straight up. "That was investigated as a potential sabotage incident." "Yeah," Kevin rubbed the back of his neck. "He's pretty resourceful." The cat yawned, displaying an impressive array of teeth, then settled back into the chair with a contented purr that resonated through the bridge speakers. "This is unacceptable," Hyle muttered, but she made no move toward her chair. Instead, she activated her wristcom. "Security to the bridge. We have a situation." 15 minutes later, Chief Security Officer Torvik, a massive Garothian with 4 arms and combat armor, stood before the captain's chair. He had been briefed. He had laughed. He had stopped laughing when he saw Hyal's expression. "You want me to remove the small Earth creature, Commander?" "Yes." Torvik approached cautiously. He reached out with one massive hand. Mr. Whiskers didn't even open his eyes, but a low rumble emerged from somewhere deep in his chest. The security chief froze. "Commander, is it supposed to make that sound?" "That's purring," Kevin offered helpfully. "Could be friendly. Could be a warning. With Mr. Whiskers, it's hard to tell." "Proceed, Chief," Hyle ordered. Torvik's hand drew closer. The purring intensified. His fingers were mere centimeters away when Mr. Whiskers' paw shot out faster than a plasma bolt, claws extended, and swatted the Garothian's hand with surprising force. Torvik yelped and jerked back, examining the shallow scratches on his armored glove. "It breached my combat plating," he exclaimed in horror. "Stand down, Chief," Hyal sighed, pinching the bridge of her nose. "Clearly, we need a different approach." Over the next 3 days, Hyal tried everything. She consulted xenobiologists. She studied Earth cultural databases. She even attempted to bribe the creature with various exotic foods. Mr. Whiskers remained unmoved, quite literally, from her chair. The bridge crew had taken to working around him. Navigation was plotted from the secondary console. Command decisions were made while Hyle stood awkwardly to the side of her own chair, trying to maintain dignity while a 5-kilogram furball occupied her seat of power. On the 4th day, Admiral Genthar himself called for a video conference. Hayal stood at attention, acutely aware that Mr. Whiskers was visible in the frame, grooming himself on her chair. "Commander Hayal," the Admiral's voice crackled through. "I've received some unusual reports about your vessel." "I can explain, sir." "No need," the Admiral interrupted. His expression was unreadable. "I've been reviewing Earth cultural files specifically regarding human-feline relationships. Did you know that on Earth cats were once worshipped as gods?" "Sir, they have never forgotten this." The Admiral paused. "Commander, I'm officially updating Station Regulation 4.7, an exception clause for feline companions aboard vessels with human crew members. It seems resistance is futile." Hayal's jaw dropped. "Sir, you cannot be serious." "I am entirely serious. 6 other vessels with human crew have reported similar situations. The cats always win, Commander. Always. Adapt your operations accordingly. Genthar out." The screen went dark. Hayal turned slowly to look at Kevin, who was trying very hard not to smile. Mr. Whiskers, as if understanding the outcome, stretched once more and then graciously vacated the captain's chair, padding over to a sunny spot by the observation window. The chair was warm when Hayal finally sat down. "Welcome to working with humans, Commander," Kevin said cheerfully. "We come with unique operational requirements." Hayal closed her eyes, counted to 10 in 3 different languages, and accepted her new reality. The Galactic Union fleet had faced countless challenges across 1,000 worlds, none quite like Earth's cats. Mr. Whiskers purred in agreement. The end.